Dhaka City Bypass and Flyover. An analytical report to executive summary number of large infrastructure projects are under implementation to ease the increasing traffic congestion in Dhaka and bring about a paradigm shift in the overall connectivity of the country. Notable among these are the Dhaka Elevated Expressway D, Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE, and Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway DIE. However, there is often confusion among the public and some media outlets about the distinct objectives, routes, and implementation status of these projects. This report addresses this confusion by presenting an in-depth analysis of the latest status of each project, their socioeconomic and commercial impacts, and the existing challenges. The review finds that while the Dhaka Elevated Expressway has provided immediate relief in reducing traffic congestion in its partially operational section, its effectiveness is somewhat limited due to high tolls and congestion on the ramps. On the other hand, the Dhaka Bypass Expressway and the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway, which are playing a strategic role in establishing regional connectivity by bypassing Dhaka, are repeatedly being delayed due to procedural challenges such as land acquisition, utility relocation, and design changes. These challenges are not only affecting the project implementation timeline, but are also increasing its cost. Economic analysis shows that these expressways will not only reduce travel time, but will also act as economic corridors to boost trade and commerce, create employment, and make a significant contribution to regional development. However, to reap the full benefits of these projects, it is essential to take strategic and long-term steps to address the existing challenges. 1. Introduction. Demystifying Dhaka's flyovers and bypasses 1.1. Background of the question and objectives. Of the report, traffic congestion in the capital Dhaka is a chronic problem that wastes millions of working hours every day and hampers the country's economic growth. To address this problem, the government has undertaken several large infrastructure projects, of which the flyover and bypass highways are particularly important. The user's question asked about the latest status of these projects, their advantages, disadvantages, and their contribution to the country's trade and commerce. As an expert report, it is important to clear up a basic misconception before analyzing these issues. Dhaka Elevated Expressway, Dhaka Bypass Expressway, and Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway are often considered to be the same project, which is not correct. The main goal of the report is to present a clear and well-organized picture of the distinct identity, objectives, and current status of each project, so that the reader can get a holistic idea of its complexity and larger impact. Asterisk project definition. In separation, Dhaka Elevated Expressway D versus Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE and Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway DAEE. There are three distinct projects in the transport infrastructure of Bangladesh, each with different routes, objectives, and implementing agencies. Dhaka Elevated Expressway D mainly plays a role in reducing traffic congestion in Dhaka. Its route extends from Hazrat Shahjalal International Airport via Kuril, Banani, Mohakali, Tegan, Mobazar, Kamalupur Saidabad to Kutapalli on the Dhaka-Chittagong Highway. Its total length, including the 19.73 kilometers main flyover and ramps, is 46.73 kilometers. It is one of the largest PPP public-private partnership projects of the government, the implementation period of which has been changed repeatedly. Dhaka Bypass Expressway, DBE. This project serves as an outer ring road of Dhaka. Its main objective is to establish a direct connection between the north and southeast of the country, so that vehicles can easily move around Dhaka. This 48 km long controlled access highway starts from Joydafa and extends to Madanpur, connecting with N1 Dhaka-Chittagong, N2 Dhaka-Sylhet, and other national highways. It is a PPP project under the Roads and Highways Department RHD. Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway DIE. This is also a separate project, the main objective of which is to improve the connectivity of the capital with the northern part of the country. This 24 km long expressway extends from Kola of the airport to Savar EPZ via Ashulia. It will bypass Dhaka and provide a direct connection to vehicles coming from the northern part of the country via Himaya Perkadam Talanim Tali Saradakam Nagand, Highway Madanpur. It is essentially a part of the Trans-Asian highway network and will connect directly with the Dhaka elevated expressway. It is important to understand the distinct nature of these three projects. The Dhaka elevated expressway is essentially an inner-city flyover, while the other two projects are bypass routes connecting different parts of the country outside Dhaka. The confusion in this information suggests that the specific role and objectives of these megaprojects have not been properly understood by both the general public and some media outlets, indicating a weakness in the government's public communication strategy. As an expert report, this is the first to clarify these differences and build a foundation for information. Comparative picture of major flyover and bypass expressway projects and Dhaka project name, main length route main, objective implementing. Agency latest progress Dhaka elevated expressway D 19.73 kilometers. 46.73 kilometers including ramps. Airport Bandi Farm Gate Kudakali to relieve traffic congestion within. Dhaka Bangladesh Bridge Authority BBA, partially operational 11.5 kilometers. Overall progress 78%. Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE 48 kilometers. Joy Deber Bulata Madhampur to bypass. Dhaka and Connect Regional Highways, Roads and Highways Department are HD partially operational 18 kilometers. Overall progress 65 to 80%. Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway. Dai 24 kilometers Airport Tashulia Sovar EPZ to connect the northern part of Dhaka with the western part. Bangladesh Bridge Authority BBA. Overall progress 50%. Dhaka Elevated Expressway D Reality. Success and ongoing challenges. Brief introduction and timeline of the project. The Dhaka Elevated Expressway project was originally initiated in 2009 to alleviate the severe traffic congestion in the capital and was approved in 2011. It is the first elevated highway in Bangladesh and is being implemented under the Public-Private Partnership PPP model. The project was initially scheduled to start in 2017 and be completed in June 2022. However, its work has been repeatedly delayed due to various reasons. Finally, the 11.5 kilometer section from Kala to Farmgate was open to the public in September 2023. Although the project period is till June 2026, there is uncertainty about its full completion. The original project cost was estimated at TK 8,934 CRO. Latest progress and implementation status sext. For the partially commissioned section, the rest of the project is ongoing. Out of a total of 1,960 pillars, 1,200 pillars have already been erected, and out of 9,138 girders, 1,968 have been installed. The physical progress of the project is 37%, and the overall progress is 50%. The construction work is divided into three sections. The first section from Kala of the airport, the second from Dower Bridge, and the third from Ashulia. Although the work of Section 3 is slightly behind compared to Sections 1 and 2, the authorities concerned expect that the work will progress at a faster pace after the partial inauguration in September 2023. Analysis of advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: saving travel time and reducing traffic congestions. Main and most visible advantage of the Dhaka Elevated Expressway is saving travel time. Earlier, it took more than an hour to travel from the airport to Farmgate, which is now possible in just 10 to 12 minutes through this flyover. As a result, passengers traveling on one of the busiest routes in Dhaka are getting relief from traffic congestion and saving their valuable working hours. By increasing the speed of travel, goods vehicles are also able to reach their destinations faster, which is further accelerating the economic activities of the country. At the same time, the overall picture of traffic congestion has improved, somewhat by reducing the pressure of vehicles on the roads below, which is a relief for the people of the city. Due to the reduction in traffic congestion, the amount of air pollutant PM2.5 has also decreased significantly, which is having a positive impact on the environment, according to communication experts. The main philosophy of an elevated expressway is to allow vehicles traveling within the city to bypass the main part of the city at a certain speed. But in the case of the Dhaka elevated expressway, this has not completely happened. Due to the indiscriminate construction of ramps here, it has become an open pass rather than a bypass, which is pulling the inner-city traffic directly onto the flyover. This situation has arisen mainly from the toll collection objectives of the construction companies under the PPP project. When commercial objectives influence the core transport philosophy, it raises fundamental questions about the long-term viability of the entire system. Disadvantages. High tolls and congestion on ramps. One of the main disadvantages of the project is its high toll rates. It's the minimum toll for light vehicles like private cars, taxis, jeeps. Microbuses is TK80. This toll has made it unusable for many, especially public transport users. As a result, the pressure on the roads below is not reduced, and the main goal of reducing congestion is not being fully achieved. This is creating a significant social inequality in infrastructure development, where only high-income or private car users are benefiting from it, while the majority of the population is being deprived of its benefits. In addition, the on- and off-ramps of the expressway often experience severe congestion. A lot of time is wasted trying to avoid congestion on these ramps. The daily heavy traffic jams, especially at Kola, Farmgate, and Banani points, are limiting the main purpose of this flyover. These problems indicate that the design and traffic management of the project needed more in-depth thinking to ensure its maximum effectiveness. Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE and Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway DIE. Strategic analysis, introduction, and strategic interconnection of the projects. Although the Dhaka Bypass Expressway and the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway are two different projects, their strategic objectives are almost the same: to establish strong road connectivity between the north and southwest of the country, bypassing the capital. The Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE connects the northern part of the country with Dhaka, Dhakasala, and other highways. On the other hand, the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway DAE will connect the northern and western parts of the country with the eastern parts like Chittagong and Sylhet without entering Dhaka. If these two projects work together, the pressure of the large number of goods and passenger vehicles passing through Dhaka will be significantly reduced. Latest progress and major challenges. Work on the Dhaka Bypass Expressway DBE project is progressing at a rapid pace, and its overall progress has reached 65% to 80%. Already an 18 km section of it was inaugurated. On August 24, 2025, this section starts from Bagra in Gazipa and extends to Purbichal. It is going to be the most technologically advanced road in the country. It is expected that the entire 48 km expressway will be operational by July 2025. On the other hand, the overall progress of the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway is still limited to 50%. Although the project is scheduled to be completed by June 2026, with only 16 months remaining, there is uncertainty about the completion of the work on schedule. A review of the main reasons for repeated time extensions in both projects reveals a systemic weakness. These include complexities in land acquisition and land transfer between government agencies. Both the Dhaka Bypass Expressway and the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway have encountered complications in land acquisition and land transfer between various government agencies, which has severely hampered the progress of the projects. The work of the Dhaka Shulia Expressway has been stalled for a long time due to non-availability of land from the Civil Aviation Authority, especially in the Kala section of the airport, unexpected challenges in utility relocation. Work has also been stalled due to unexpected challenges, such as moving the power line from Ashulia Bazaar to Savar EPZ. These lines require additional costs to be taken underground, which was not included in the original budget of the project. Design changes. The design changes of the project are also a major factor. The bridge height has to be increased due to the change in the grade of the Dower to Ashulia River. A new trumpet interchange is being added to the bipile. Such changes increase costs and delay time. Lack of financial capacity, according to communication experts. The lack of financial capacity of the project construction company is also a major reason for the repeated suspension of work. These problems are not specific to just one or two projects, but rather illustrate a systemic weakness in the management of large infrastructure projects in Bangladesh. This trend of repeated time extensions and cost increases is a major concern for future megaprojects. In-depth analysis of socioeconomic and commercial impacts contribution to trade and communication. These expressways will open a new horizon in the trade and communication system of Bangladesh. The Dhaka Elevated Expressway will primarily help reduce traffic congestion in Dhaka and help vehicles carrying export goods reach the airport faster. This is especially important for the ready-made garment industry and the export of perishable goods. On the other hand, the Dhaka Bypass Expressway and the Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway will establish regional connectivity and act as a direct commercial corridor between the northern, southwestern, and eastern parts of the country. Vehicles heading to Mymensingh, Rankar, and Rajshahi from Chittagong Port will be able to travel without entering Dhaka, which will save both time and cost in transporting goods. Due to the improved transport system, it is likely to reduce the time for transporting goods by up to 75%. This will increase logistics efficiency and reduce transport costs by 15 to 20%. These changes will directly contribute to increased industrialization, establishment of new businesses, and regional development. Data analysis shows that the value of land in industrial areas around these expressways has increased by up to 85%. The number of new businesses has increased by up to 120%. This clearly demonstrates how such infrastructure development directly impacts economic growth and initiates changes in the local economy. Larger socioeconomic impact, employment, and skill development. These megaprojects have created a significant number of jobs during construction. The Dhaka Bypass Expressway project directly employed more than 2,000 workers during construction and indirectly created more than 10,000 jobs in the associated industries. In addition, Chinese contractors have played a significant role in transferring knowledge and skills to local engineers and workers. Through foreign cooperation on modern construction techniques, such as semi-rigid pavement technology, which will help increase Bangladesh's engineering capacity in the future. Regional development and decentralization (WISPRIS) have not only increased commercial activity, but have also impacted the development of the surrounding areas. Economic activity has increased in areas such as Pubail New Town and the Gazipur Industrial Corridor, which has the potential to decentralize economic activities from the core city of Dhaka. This can help reduce population pressure on Dhaka city and develop new economic centers. Environmental and social considerations. Air pollution levels are likely to decrease due to reduced traffic congestion and increased travel speeds. A study found that PM2.5 levels in some areas have decreased by 22% after the introduction of elevated expressways. However, it has also had some social downsides. Due to the high tolls, it has mainly benefited private vehicle users, which can further exacerbate existing inequalities in society. At the same time, small businesses located on the roads downstream of the expressways have suffered due to difficulties in customer access. Strategic recommendations and future review solving current challenges to ensure the full benefits of these projects. It is essential to take strategic steps to solve the existing challenges. First, its use is being limited due to high tolls. Therefore, a people-friendly toll policy should be formulated that can attract more vehicles and help in fulfilling the main objective of the project. Second, to resolve traffic congestion on the ramps, the design flaws can be reconsidered and toll plazas can be replaced with automated and digital systems, which will smooth the flow of traffic. Above all, before taking up any major project under the PPP model in the future, the financial and technical capabilities of the contractor should be more strictly verified, and government supervision needs to be strengthened. Ways to ensure long-term benefits. To ensure the benefits of these expressways in the long term, they need to be effectively coordinated with public transport. Bus routes should be included in the flyovers, and the condition of the roads below them should be improved. This will benefit all sections of the people and make it a true public asset. In addition, a strong interagency coordination body or structure needs to be created to resolve land acquisition, utility transfer, and other complexities so that such mega projects can be implemented quickly and without costly delays in the future. Policy recommendations for future infrastructure projects. It is clear from the experience of such mega projects that it is very important to formulate a comprehensive and systematic plan. This should include in-depth research on design, environmental impact, assessment, and financial risks in advance. In addition to simplifying and speeding up land acquisition laws and procedures, a specialized task force can be formed to ensure cooperation and information exchange among government agencies. These steps will help create a new, efficient, and sustainable model for transport and infrastructure. Development in Bangladesh in the future. Conclusion: Dhaka Elevated Expressway. Dhaka Bypass Expressway and Dhaka Shulia Elevated Expressway, these three projects have ushered in a new era in Bangladesh's transportation and commercial system. While each project has its own unique objectives and implementation pace, their collective goal is to boost the country's economic activity and save thousands of man-hours caused by traffic congestion. The Dhaka Elevated Expressway has achieved partial success, but challenges such as high tolls and congestion on the ramps are limiting its full effectiveness. On the other hand, the bypass expressways, despite their immense strategic importance, have repeatedly been delayed due to procedural issues. To reap the full benefits of these projects, it is essential to take urgent steps to address the existing challenges and to create a strong and integrated policy framework for future infrastructure development. These mega projects will not only improve the transportation system, but will also play a significant role in the overall economic growth and development of the country. Appendix Table 2. Main benefits and challenges of expressway benefits. Challenges: time saving. Significant. Reduction in travel time, for example, airport farm gate only 10 to 12 minutes. High toll. Limited access for public transport and low-income users. Congestion reduction. Reduce overall congestion by reducing vehicle pressure on downstream roads. Congestion on ramps. Create new congestion at entry and exit points, which reduces efficiency. Economic corridors. Accelerate trade by establishing direct connections between industrial areas and ports. Delays and cost increases. Repeatedly extending project deadlines due to land acquisition. Utility relocation and design changes. Efficiency in freight transport, ensuring fast and cost-effective. Transport for export goods, vehicles, financial and technical capability, financial. Weakness of some project contractor organizations and lack of supervision of PPP model. Employment creation, a large number of direct and indirect employment. Opportunities will be created during construction. Social inequality, this is mainly benefiting private car users, which raises questions of social justice.